Artificial intelligence must not remain a lab achievement. It must become a humanitarian instrument. A developed nation is not defined only by GDP growth or digital exports. It is defined by whether its mothers and daughters survive preventable diseases. For me, Shakti is not just a word, it's my mother's blessings. It is every woman's strength. It is the moral force behind this mission. When history looks back at this era, it will not remember how advanced our algorithms were. It will remember whether technology stood with humanity. Namo Shakti Rath is not just a vehicle, it's a moving light, and that light carries dignity, assurance, and hope. I just want to share a few personal instances with you before we start the panel. You know, it was a really heartwarming and a satisfying feeling when you attend these camps, because when people from all walks of life come, I don't think the people working on the project, on the technology, on the quantum aspect or the AI aspect of it would have ever thought that what they are working on will have such a great social impact on Asha Rani in Ambala or Fulo Devi in Varanasi, in terms of what difference it can make. The problem is of awareness as well as the social stigma that remains. While we were curating the technologies, we looked at the Indian problems, the problems that we face in the Indian mindset, which was definitely a big advantage that there was no radiation in this technology, but also the social stigma that came in some parts of rural India was also to be addressed because it was non-touch, non-invasive, and no pain. These are parameters which have helped us expand the campaign and take it to the furthest parts of the country, and which we are expanding on now and taking it to the next level, where we are doubling the number of centers. Not only does it provide an alternative to this first step of screening, which is the first point of contact, but also reduces the load on the entire healthcare system to be able to filter in and funnel those cases which have been defined because of the rates of efficacy and specificity, which is about 95% through this technology. So I will not take more time. I will just ask the panel to start the conversation so we can have a dialogue which is more relevant and related to the issue at hand. Thank you very much. So I'm going to start off with Mr. Vicky from Nirmay. I think he will set the ball rolling if he can put the context as the technology and the thought process behind it, and then we can take it one by one to all our esteemed panelists on the...
Sure. Thank you so much, Shri Kartikeya sir. I will be quickly talking about Niramai and our technology. Just to give a full background, Niramai is the startup based out of Bangalore. It's an AI medical device company. We have built a device called Thermalytics. Niramai is an ISO certified company, ISO 13485, ISO 27001. Thermalytics, which is the main product, is actually being built for breast cancer detection. Thermalytics is registered with CDSCO. This is completely Make in India product, which is very important to talk about it. It's obviously an AI product. And then Thermalytics is also, CE mark approved. The other product which we have for breast cancer is Smile 100, and Smile 100 is US FDA cleared. So we are among one of the pioneers when it comes to AI, having built a device, getting both CE as well as US FDA clearance apart from CDSCO clearance in India. So sir was talking about, Sri Kartikeya sir was talking about, some of the macro, and we were also looking at this, late detection. One of the primary factors is access to screening, as he said, rightly said. Just to give some more numbers to it, while 28% is the incidence rate, which he highlighted, but the screening rates in India is less than 1%. So you look at women population and you look at, the screening numbers in India. So what it means is definitely India needs more innovative technologies to fill that gap. So the current existing technologies are able to reach only 1% of the population. Now with this innovation, with this campaign which sir explained, I think there is a huge potential to reach this to every woman, right? So that is where we are thinking from Thermalytics perspective. And just to little bit double click on the product. So the product is absolutely non-invasive. There is no touch involved to the woman. Just imagine a screening room area which is built privately for the woman. Woman enters into it and closes a room. And she is alone inside in front of the thermal imager. And she sits there for 2 minutes. A thermal image is taken which is below the neck and above the abdomen. And that's it. And she comes out, and then her job is over and the report is ready by the time she comes out. So it is as simple as that. Nobody has seen her, nobody has touched her, no radiations at all, and then the report is ready. It is that kind of process that we are talking about. So that's quickly, briefly about the product.
I wanted to ask you, how is it that the Indian, being an Indian company, which is part of Make in India, and how have you taken the sensibility of the Indian context into account, which has been helpful in this campaign? I want your perspective.
Definitely, the perspective is that this no touch is definitely one of the important, aspect. Even if we look at, existing methods, which is clinical breast examination, which is a hand-based examination, which involves touch, and maybe some of the other technologies, which are mammograms, which requires, compression, and it is also restricted to, few hospitals or large hospitals. So access becomes an issue. So in the Indian context, this portable device can be taken to gullies and mohallas and really deep into the communities. And women are, educated through the programs like this, like you spoke about, Namo Shakti, Rad, where the education is provided that there is a non-touch, non-invasive, radiation-free drive is going on. So a lot of advocacy happens through, through this program. And then once women are convinced, they come forward automatically. And we have been seeing, crowds every day in this program because they themselves experience it. Because we believe ASHA workers are the real threats to the to the communities. They can really go deep into the communities.
Anganwadi workers, the ASHA workers.
Anganwadi workers, ANMs, they can connect with communities faster. And once they are educated about this device, it is that simple, non-invasive. They quickly talk more in the community to bring them people.
Yeah. Can I just butt in here a little and to tell you about us at the Indian Cancer Society, where generally it is comprised of volunteers. It's the largest volunteer-based organization. And most of the people who are there working as volunteers have they themselves been through the process of going through breast cancer or any one of the other cancers. And if they haven't gone through it, well, they have nurtured someone and cared as a caregiver for that individual. So they are very familiar with it. And since the force is comprising of such people who have experienced it and gone through it all, they are made aware of the things by a personal experience right there itself. For example, there's me myself here. I was able to detect my own cancer through a breast self-examination, which I had been hearing people talk about a breast examination. And it was not taught to me by anyone, but I had just read it and heard about it. And lo and behold, I found my own cancer, and it was in the first stage. Now, with this particular device, it is very difficult to check it out in the first stage itself, because a mammogram at least gives you that, that precise thing that, yes, in a way precise, at least 90% precise, that, yes, there is a probability of a nodule having developed there, which can be further investigated. But this, so you're groping in the dark for quite a fair time before the lady is actually diagnosed. But yes, what is a good point of this is that it can be done in masses, unlike mammograms, which cannot be done. It's a limited number that can be done. So when you're doing screening on a mass scale, I suppose this is the best way to do it.
Dr. Mandeep, would you like to come in?
First of all, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate my Prime Minister. इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम है, इंडिया का सॉल्यूशन है. सबसे बड़ी बात ये है. देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात ये होती है कि हम ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हमारा सबसे बड़ा कैंसर है. मुझे अर्ली डिटेक्ट क्यों करना है? मुझे अर्ली डिटेक्ट करना है क्योंकि मेरी लाइफ बचानी है. If I have a stage 1, stage 0, my survival is 80 to 90%. If I have a stage 3, stage 4, my survival goes down. Stage 3, 50%, stage 4, we all know that. Secondly, If I have a stage 0, stage 1, I just need to do surgery. That said, 50% of it will take hormone tablets. I don't need chemotherapy because 50% of Indian population is hormone receptor positive. Thirdly, if I have an advanced stage, I would be looking at neoadjuvant chemotherapies, mujhe immunotherapy, targeted therapy. Look at the resource which I need to put in for treating such patients. Second, lastly, what I want to say is when I say early stage detection, none of my patients in early stage will lose their breast. That is another big thing. And now coming to the Indian population. Indian breast cancer is not what the American breast cancer is. What you have a solution in America is not what will work here. Mammogram does not work in India, period. The problem is that India, the mean age of incidence of breast cancer in India is 45. When I'm sitting in Delhi, 45 is the mean age of incidence when a woman gets breast cancer. When I'm going to Northeast, that mean age goes down to 35 years. And what is mammogram? Mammogram is X-ray of breast. Why we say that we have to do it at 45 years plus? Because 40, 35, it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Because when we have younger females, we have density. The breast density is high. Why? Because milk ductal tissue is high. And when you achieve 45 plus, it's menopause. Milk density goes down. That is when mammogram is effective. So that is the data behind why mammogram is effective in America or UK, because their mean age of incidence is 60 years, 55 years. So that solution will not work in India. This is proven by studies from Tata Memorial. This is proven by studies from SGPCI. Now when I have a woman at 45, what I'm looking at, what is my solution? My solution comes self-breast. My solution comes clinical breast. But more than that, where does Niramaya comes into the picture? It is a thermal image. Now thermal image will detect a neoplastic change or cancerous change. वो जब कैंसर जैसी चीज बढ़ने लगती है तो हीट बढ़ेगी, angiogenesis बढ़ेगा. That is where the thermal image will come into the picture. So thermal image becomes a solution to the Indian problem. It's not that we, so the next part is कि अगर मैंने mammogram कर भी लिया, now I go to a place, I get a mammogram done. I get 100 mammograms done. The problem with that 100 mammograms is that when somebody reads those mammograms, so I need a competent radiologist to read that mammogram. So this is where I think they provide the solution. We are basically supplementing the radiologist with AI. So the best part of Niramaya and AI solution is negative predictive value. I am not looking at positive predictive value. नेगेटिव प्रेडिक्ट, मैंने 100 लोगों का निरामया किया, मैंने उनमें से 70% नेगेटिव कर दिए, उनको नहीं है कैंसर, वो घर जाएं. बचे 30, अगर 45 से ज़्यादा है मैं मैमोग्राम अल्ट्रासाउंड करूँगा, 45 से नीचे मैं सिर्फ अल्ट्रासाउंड करूँगा. उस अल्ट्रासाउंड में से मैं वो 5 पकड़ लूँगा जो अर्ली स्टेज पे होंगे. अगर मैं ये नहीं यूज़ करता हूँ तो मुझे वो 100 का मैमोग्राम 100 का अल्ट्रासाउंड करना पड़ेगा. फिर मैं मैमोग्राम भी करूंगा, मैं एक रेडियोलॉजिस्ट को भी एम्प्लॉय करूंगा. तो हाउ मच रिसोर्स, हमारे पास ये रिसोर्सेज नहीं है. अभी तक हम इंडिया में जो हम मैमोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं वो हम डायग्नोस्टिक मैमोग्राम कर रहे हैं. डायग्नोस्टिक मैमोग्राम का मतलब ये है कि अगर हम कैंप जाते हैं 90% क्या होता है, अगर कोई लंप है या कुछ है तो इवैल्यूएशन के लिए कर रहे हैं, वो अपनी जगह है. हम इंडिया में उस स्टेज पे नहीं पहुंचे हैं कि मैं स्क्रीनिंग मैमोग्राफी की तरफ आ जाऊँ. स्क्रीनिंग मैमोग्राफी के लिए रेणुका जी, उनकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, they put in lot of CSRs and they make awareness and everything. So effort बहुत ज़्यादा है स्क्रीनिंग मैमोग्राफी का. Whereas effort for Niramaya is lesser. Secondly, it मेरी population at large को पकड़ेगा. मेरे को 30 years पे जो ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हो रहा है उसको भी पकड़ना है, मेरे को 25 years पे भी जो हो रहा है उसको भी पकड़ना है, और मेरे को 60 years पे भी हो रहा है उसको भी पकड़ना है. और मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज, आप ये चीज़ समझो कि एक 45 year old, जब हमारी पीक एज ऑफ इंसिडेंस ऑफ ब्रेस्ट कैंसर है इंडिया में अगर लेडी को ब्रेस्ट कैंसर होता है, एक वुमेन को, तो पूरे 3 जनरेशन हिलते हैं. अगर इंडिया में मेल वर्किंग है, राइट, तो वो पैसा कमाएगा. बट अगर जो लेडी है वो अपने हस्बैंड का भी ध्यान रखेगी, वो अपने बच्चे का भी ध्यान रखेगी, वो अपने सास ससुर है उसका भी ध्यान रखेगी, और उसको कैंसर होता है, जब वो हिलता है तो पूरी फैमिली टूट जाती है. सो द बेस्ट पार्ट इज ये हमको अमेरिका से नहीं मिलेगा. ये मेरे को AI कोई यूएस वाला बना के नहीं देगा. मेरे को इंडिया में बनाएंगे इंडिया का थर्मल इमेज है, थर्मल इमेज बहुत टाइम से था, यूएस को उसकी वैल्यू ही नहीं थी, क्योंकि उसके लिए यूएस थर्मल इमेज उसको लगता है कि नहीं मैमोग्राम मेरा सुपीरियर है। अरे यार वो डिबेट सुपीरियरिटी की तो है ही नहीं, डिबेट है एप्लीकेबिलिटी की। मैं इसमें डिबेट ही नहीं करना चाहता कि मैमोग्राम बेटर है, अल्ट्रासाउंड बेटर है, निरामया बेटर है, वो डिबेट नहीं करनी मुझे डिबेट करनी है कि मैं अब अगर मैं मैमोग्राम्स करूंगा तो क्या मैं अपनी जो पीक एज ऑफ इंसिडेंस है उसको मैं पकड़ लूंगा। स्क्रीनिंग का पर्पस ये होता है कि अगर 45 मेरी पीक एज ऑफ इंसिडेंस है, मुझे स्क्रीनिंग 10 साल पहले शुरू करनी है। आई नीड टू स्टार्ट एट 35 मैमोग्राम का रूल ही नहीं है। 35 रोल है किसका है? क्या मैं एमआरआई कराऊंगा सबके? बहुत मुश्किल है। अल्ट्रासाउंड कराऊंगा, अल्ट्रासाउंड में मुझे एक रेडियोलॉजिस्ट चाहिए और दूसरी चीज़ वो पूरा ब्रेस्ट देखेगी। So that is why निरामया is a very good solution because this is a thermal image। बहुत टाइम से इंडिया में चीज़ पे काम हो रहा था, इन्होंने वो थर्मल इमेज पकड़ा और थर्मल इमेज पे एआई लगा दिया। तो थर्मल इमेज इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, उसके ऊपर एआई लगा दिया तो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट जो सबसे स्कार्स इन मेडिकल इज अ रेडियोलॉजिस्ट। आपको डॉक्टर मिल जाएगा, फिजिशियन मिल जाएगा, आपको सर्जन मिल जाएगा, ऑर्थोपेडिशियन मिल जाएगा, रेडियोलॉजिस्ट सबसे मुश्किल होता है। एंड रेडियोलॉजी इन and Mr. Kartikeya will agree, is the most coveted branch when I give my postgraduate medical entrance. So सबसे जो टॉपर होगा वो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट उठाता है।
I think that's a very valid point, Dr. Mandeep, you made, and I would want to come to Dr. Sandeep if possible on the same issue.
Yeah, so just I want to add, good morning to everyone present here. So I just want to reiterate the idea that in rural scenario, the situation is very different. First of all, resources are problem, and the biggest problem is the stigma. That Dr. Mandeep told, that you tell somebody to palpate or something, वो कहते हैं अभी साइज छोटा है, मेरे घर में तो किसी को कैंसर हुआ ही नहीं, कैसे कैंसर हो सकता है? तो denial, self denial is the biggest problem. And when you reach to the community, you diagnose them, you educate them, and when the people get connected to them, then only they get motivated and they will move forward to the investigation. And I think the best excellent approach with this technique is, it is no touch, no see technique. There is no radiation, because the biggest problem is when you ask a patient कि यार आगे further testing कराओ, then they are worried about that they have to go in the big machines where the resources are not available. Secondly, nobody wants to get pricked. And the problem, the rule of thumb, what Dr. Mandeep was telling, that early diagnosis leads to cure. Absolutely. When the disease comes late, then the whole trauma comes. एक lady है वो पूरा घर संभालती, and when
the entire ecosystem
is because, and I tell you, when you diagnose a patient and you come to any OPD, you ask patient to get vaccinated for cervical vaccine or any vaccine, they will not go for it, and very hesitant for that. And when even if one person is diagnosed in the family, then the whole chain reaction begins and everybody starts looking for that vaccine. So I think this is an excellent idea, and what Namo Shakti Rath is doing, I think it's one of its, I think, brainchild idea, what has brought out. I want to congratulate them, what they have gone through, what they have done to the community. And with this, I think more people will get motivated and more disease will come forward. I deal in tuberculosis, and I find out that the stigma, people don't go for simple x-rays. Because वो यार मेरे घर में तो किसी को है नहीं, मेरे को कैसे होगी? So that denial phase is very big problem, and then the people land up in the biggest problem in our country is quacks.
No, absolutely, Doctor. I think that you're absolutely right. And one of the most important things on what ma'am said was, how do you make it into a doorstep screening facility? I don't think it would have ever been possible if such a technology did not exist and if AI was not an enabler in that sense. Absolutely. But I want to ask Dr. Aishwarya Pandit, who's running the ITV Foundation, what were the social aspects of this campaign that you had to deal with? And when you went on the ground and you basically interacted with the people, with the Anganwadi workers, the Asha workers, who are the accentuators of this program, who actually make it happen on the ground, who mobilize the people, the resources, what is your interaction and takeaway from this entire campaign that you've done?
I think I experience when we are looking at Haryana and we're looking at UP, we were looking at two different socio-economic makeup in terms of the population, and that's what we noticed. In Haryana, when we went, I think what we missed the point is, apart from the screening part, when there is a mobilization by the Anganwadi and Asha workers, they are also raising awareness regarding breast cancer. Because when the people come and ask them, like when the women ask, what do we have to come for the screening for? Like, why do we need to get the screening done? Because then they're telling them that this is early screening for breast cancer. So they are also becoming aware of the fact that we all need to get screened for breast cancer. We have conversation with them. We used to have conversation with them at the camps. When I would go, I would tell them, they would, obviously there was an element of fear while going in for the screening. I would tell them, you get yourself screened, you'll know that are you susceptible or not? Are you having that? And the report will be generated and it will be given to you right away. So a lot of women, after they had got the screening done, they would often ask the technician, what did my results say? And when the results would say that you are more or less in the safer zone, they would feel relaxed. They would encourage more women to come for screening. And the word would spread in the local community that there is a screening happening. Everyone should take advantage to it. Earlier, the older women came to our camps, the age group 55 to 60, who were largely the mother-in-laws who would come. When they were completely satisfied in Haryana, then they would say, we'll send our daughters. We will send our daughter-in-laws, and they would come. They would just not come for the screening. They would come, they would have a look at the camp. They would look at the complete privacy of it. They themselves would be convinced of it. They would go through the whole procedure. Then they themselves would say, so what are the precautions we are supposed to follow? I would tell them, keep doing breast self-examination from time to time. Kahin par bhi aapko gaat lage, to aapko batana hai. So they were like regular, I would say, yeah, from time to time, 3 to 4 months, keep examining your breasts. So it helped raising an awareness regarding a thing. If at the right time they are able to self-examine and get that, then that way they will be able to spread the word among the larger community. Similarly, in Varanasi, what I saw, there women were far more forthcoming because in coming to camps, they were easily mobilized. They would talk about it extensively. The ASHA workers would mobilize them one day, but then the next day when the mobile ambulance would go to their location, they would say, you know why we come? बिकॉज हमने अभी रोटी बनाकर हम आए हैं, अभी हमें आधा 1 घंटे का टाइम है, हम अपना स्क्रीनिंग करके वापस हमें बच्चे स्कूल से आ जाएंगे, फिर हमें उनका दोबारा उनको खाना देना है या मेरे हस्बैंड काम से आ जाएंगे उनको खाना देना है. वी हैव टू रियलाइज द रियलिटीज. Women in India also doing a large part.
Dr. Aishwarya, I really want to ask you because see, I've seen multiple, I'll come back to you after this, ma'am. We've seen that there have been multiple initiatives. What does it take to make an initiative successful on ground? You have district administration working, you've got companies like Nirmay working, you've got other people working, volunteers working. It's a confluence of all of them. It's an effort which has to be done in a dogged manner, pursued. Only then can you take it to a culmination point. So what is your experience on that effect, and what would your advice be?
I would say that every day you have to be consistent at it and try to raise more and more awareness at it. We went again and again and again to the mohallas. For the first time, you had a certain section of women coming in who were more proactive regarding their health and more aware. Then you had, in the second round, even more women would come. Please understand, they have to devote a large part of their daily routine on household work. So we also have to tell women, prioritizing your health is a good thing. So this is also telling them to prioritize their health.
What about you, ma'am? What do you say about the volunteers and the social involvement of such campaigns? Because these campaigns can't be successful, or it's not just the government's job to do it. It is civil society and everyone coming together.
Absolutely, it is the civil society's job to see that these kind of things are taken care of, and especially healthcare. I mean, it is, and cancer these days is definitely on the rise. We are all reading about it day in and day out. So for us, it's not only the breast cancer that we are looking at. We look at all cancers in a holistic manner. We do it for men, for women also, both. So both come to our camps. And for us, like I told you, we motivate them through our awareness talks. These awareness talks are done at the community level. They're done at every level. It could be a resident welfare association. It could be just the, the areas, the Anganwadi ladies help us to organize such camps. There are other organizations that invite us to come in and give talks. So you sensitize the people. and get them to come in. Because stigma, of course, is a very, very big thing. But that gets removed away from the fact when they hear that you yourself have been through it. You know, and when somebody says that I've been through it, and it's kind of a shock for them to say, कि अरे आप भी इस दौरान से गुजरी हैं. They just can't believe it. And, you know, that's why I think they started addressing us as doctors over a period of time, when none of us are actually doctors. It's just that we've had this training on the job. And that's how many of us are called as doctors. Like today also, I think it's written somewhere as Dr. Renuka Prasad, but I'm just a plain volunteer who has been through it and survived for nearly 30 years.
Let me ask next question to the actual doctor. Dr. Mandeep, if I may ask that we, in a country like India, we have a very diverse set of problems. We have different segments of people. A lot of people in the urban centers can afford healthcare and medicine. A lot of people in rural parts of the country can't afford healthcare. And, you know, so what do you say when the world's largest healthcare program like the Ayushman Bharat has been launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, which ensures 5 lakh rupees of insurance to every household, and about 11 crore people have already availed the benefit. What does it do for something like breast cancer and early detection, especially in the rural part of people and the people who need it the most, who don't have the means?
So exactly. The thing is that you have already provided a baseline coverage. Now, for us, like the initiatives, has to be that we don't get you the cancer which is stage 3, stage 4, so that even your baseline coverage doesn't suffice that. So we get you the cancer that is stage 2, stage 0, so that this baseline coverage is enough. And that is why this whole initiative. So the best part is that in India, you have now a baseline coverage for everybody who has no means and who has means can afford. And now who has...
Basically, no one is out of the gambit of the healthcare system. That is something which is really remarkable in that sense, you know. And AI becomes a great enabler to get people to early screening and take the benefit of that policy that has been made by the government.
I'll just give you a small data. If a woman does self-breast, she's able to detect a cancer at stage 2. That 2.53 centimeters lump. So you have to do regular self-breast. Then you go to 6 monthly or 1 year, you go to your gynecologist, physician, ask them a clinical breast by either trained healthcare worker like us or experienced healthcare worker like Renuka ji. So when they do it, they are able to detect a lump of around 1 centimeter. So basically what you miss, the clinician will catch, and what clinician will miss, the technology will catch. So if this is the amalgamation, and this was the data, which said that if every woman in India starts doing self-breast, we have 60% to 70% of our breast cancer will be at stage 2. So Ayushman Bharat will take care of that.
So before I come to Dr. Sandeep, Mr. Nanda, I would like to ask you, as and when this program progresses and your LLM gets better, algorithms get better, you have more data sets to work with, how does it impact your efficacy and specificity going forward? And how does it make it better?
Of course, more data gives more power to AI, and AI is also built on a trained model, right? And it's a very important and intelligent layer in the system. But I believe the best use of AI is with human, and of course, doctors play a very important role there. So currently, whatever data sets that we have, and we have built that model, it is also been tested and clinically validated. So for example, clinical validations have been done, clinical studies have been done. Those are done in respected hospitals.
For example?
For example, these are done in HCG hospital, in Narayana Hridayalaya hospital, Max hospital in Delhi. So these studies are done in comparison with...
Are you available outside India as well as a product?
Yes. These are products are also available outside India in 20 plus countries.
USFDA?
Yes, USFDA, the studies are also done outside India, but these studies are done, in comparison with the gold standard. That is very important. For example, every woman walked in, took thermolytics test, then she took mammogram test. And if one of them is positive, then ultrasound. And if ultrasound is positive, then principal investigator, guided for the next line of biopsy. And then the results were compared. And those studies are published. Now that gives, some confidence to the clinical community. I believe a lot of confidence. And then with this kind of coverage that we are doing, of course, more data means more power.
I completely agree with you, because I've been part of this journey with you for the last couple of months, and I've seen that happen. I think the true problem, and I'll come to Dr. Sandeep with this, is that in India, we need Indian solutions to Indian problems. We cannot look at generic propositions that exist elsewhere in the world. And therefore, we have to understand what are the sensitivities that we are plagued with. At the same time, I think if India truly needs to democratize healthcare and bring it to the rural sector and the people who need it the most, it would be absolutely, imperative that we are in a position to take these technologies to the people and not wait for it to evolve on its own. Dr. Sandeep, what is your take on that?
I think any technology is of no use if it's not used to the, if it's not amongst the use of the people. And secondly, the most important part is that Indianized. If you see the diagnosis of even a cardiac disease is 20 years earlier than what is in the Western population. Same is with any cardiometabolic disease or any disease like cancer also. So we need Indian guidelines, Indian system, Indian. I think more often the problems which are related to our countries. Sometimes symptoms are different. Indians can behave in a different way than what Western people are behaving. And I think, and technology, I think it needs to be at the lowermost quadrant of the people, because even our Prime Minister also says that you should, if the rural health improves, I think it will uplift.
I mean, the transformation has to happen from rural India.
Country.
Only then can we look towards becoming a developed country.
I just want to add one more thing. Even Indian Medical Association, which I am part of, has adopted this year the theme of Aao Gaon Chale. So I think this is what the utmost important of right now our country is facing, that the rural health should improve. Otherwise, the maximum load or maximum the resources are spent on the health.
So may I ask you, entities, very important entities like the IMA,
Yeah.
Are you embracing technology? Are you embracing the evolution of technology? Because there's always a circumspect opinion about something that is new and evolutionary, and understandably so. But what is your approach as an organization, as a body, towards the evolution of technology, especially in AI?
Yeah. So, but then, first the idea came because we are living with the community level. So the idea came that we should adopt a village. We should reinforce the idea again and again. And people should go continuously so that more people are educated. But when the technology comes and when it is I think it is US FDA is approving sensitivity of 95% sensitive and 90% specificity, like only 10% chances, which I think no other diagnostic test can match at early. So I think when you have total documentation and everything is when you know the technology is true, I think there's no harm in adopting it. And I think we should move forward. Even I will ask my organization also to move forward in this direction, because ultimately the next generation, the next that next theme will be of the technology in healthcare.
And ironically, I just have this one thing to say, that we also try to stay in, along with the times. And way back in 2018, we had our seminar. We have an annual seminar, basically to bring about awareness on the newer subjects, the newer things that are coming up. And AI was just about coming in at that time. And we had
Absolutely.
a full load seminar on AI with healthcare and cancer specific.
I think, ma'am, this journey from AI to AGI will be a path-breaking journey and will unlock many value propositions for a country like India, and the innovators like Nirmay and other innovators who are actually building solutions for the Indian problem. And I say that because we are akin to our problems and we need to work at our solutions. So I think this is the testament of the new India, the new Bharat that we live in. And we have our problems. We will create solutions for our problems. And those will be created very much in India by Indians for Indians. So thank you very much for being a part of this panel. I'm being told the time is up. So, I'll definitely, before I part, I would definitely say that, this is something which we have lived through, imbibed through a platform called NXT, which finds alternative and newer technologies, whether they are in healthcare, whether they are in other aspects which touch our lives in different ways and manifest them. And, from concept to execution, this entire program took less than 4.5 months. So, that is the beauty about that. And I think we are now, with the advent of AI and AGI, sitting at the single most important scientific invention since the splitting of the atom. So I hope we can have that kind of positive impact on healthcare and a country of the size of 1.4 billion people. And we have our problems, but we have our solutions as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just want to say that Namo Shakti Rath is adding human touch to the technology. That's
दिल्ली, सपनों का शहर, जहां मेहनत कभी नहीं रुकती, लेकिन मेहनत के बीच 2 वक्त का भरपेट और सम्मानजनक भोजन हर किसी का हक है। इस सोच के साथ प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के कुशल नेतृत्व में दिल्ली की रेखा गुप्ता सरकार लेकर आई है 100 करोड़ रुपए की बजट के साथ अटल कैंटीन। सिर्फ 5 रुपए में पौष्टिक, स्वच्छ और भरपेट भोजन।
किसी के स्वाभिमान को ठेस न आए कि मैं फ्री में कुछ भोजन खा रहा हूँ, वो 5 रुपए दे के भी भोजन खाएगा तो सम्मान के साथ खाएगा।
गरीब भाई बेचारा खाना खा के चैन से सो जाता है रात को, और सुबह उसको पता है कि मुझे टाइम पे खाना मिलेगा।
अटल कैंटीन, सम्मान के साथ सस्ता और सेहतमंद भोजन।
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर, या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
Welcome back. You're watching NewsX and I'm Medha Sharan. Let's begin with the headlines this hour. France's President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron land in Mumbai. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis receives the leaders at the airport. France's President Emmanuel Macron to meet Prime Minister Modi today. Both leaders are set to inaugurate the India-France Innovation Year 2026 in Mumbai. Bangladesh Nationalist Party Chief Tariq Rahman to swear in as Bangladesh's Prime Minister today. Bangladesh's President Shahabuddin to administer oath. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla to represent India at Tariq Rahman's oath-taking ceremony today. 12 other countries to also be present at historic ceremony. 3 killed, including shooter, with 3 others injured at a hockey game in USA's Rhode Island. Videos from incident flood social media. Medical board report reveals the jailed former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has a 6/24 vision in right eye. Report claims a mild intraocular hemorrhage seen at 6 o'clock periphery. French President Emmanuel Macron is currently in India for a high-profile 3-day official visit at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This marks Macron's 4th visit to India overall and his first to Mumbai, underscoring the deepening India-France strategic partnership. Macron, accompanied by First Lady Brigitte Macron, arrived late last night at Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport. He received a warm welcome from Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Governor Acharya Devrat and other dignitaries. Iconic landmarks like the Bandra Worli Sea Link were lit up in the tricolours of India and France to mark the occasion. Later today in Mumbai, Prime Minister Modi and President Macron will hold bilateral talks to review progress across key areas under the Horizon 2047 roadmap, including defence, emerging technologies, trade, energy, climate, education and Indo-Pacific cooperation. With that, let us in fact take a look at the trade between India and France. Now, France is one of India's top 3 trading partners within the European Union. Now, India's exports to France stand at $7.96 billion. This is of the financial year 25, and we also have France's exports to India standing at 7.19 billion, which makes the total bilateral trade between both the countries 15.5 billion. Of course, India and France's bilateral trade has crossed 15 billion, and over the past couple of years has increased tremendously. Of course, it clearly shows that India's exports to France are more than what India is rather importing from France, thereby showing that here it is India that has the trade surplus with France. Now, we also have India's exports to France. So these are some of the things that India exports to France. We have mineral fuels, mineral oil, petroleum, machinery, telecom instruments, aircraft and spacecraft parts, nuclear reactors, as well as packaged medicaments. So these are some of the exports that India sends to France. Now remember, of course, France is one of India's top 5 trading partners. It stands at number 3, and over the past couple of years bilateral trade has increased significantly. Also, we have France's exports to India, aircraft, boilers, optical as well as photographic apparatus and plastics. Now remember, defence is a key pillar of trade between India as well as France, and hence we have these exports to France's exports to India. So again, a major focus among the talks between both of these leaders will of course be trade, among other key important things such as artificial intelligence as well as defence partnership. Ms. Shruti Dasgupta, Foreign Affairs expert, joins me for more on this. Welcome to the broadcast, ma'am. At this point, first of all, what exactly does France want out of India economically?
Well, greetings to you and your viewers. France is looking to strengthen its partnership right from the hardware that we provide and transition towards the software, that is the AI and tech development that we are looking at with France. We are looking for joint R&D endeavors, and France is happy to cooperate with India, looking at how we've progressed so far. The first AI summit that was PM Modi attended today was also part of this endeavor, where we are showcasing India's ability to host as well as grow as an AI tech industry. And France wants a piece of that particular pie as well. Both these nations are known for their strategic autonomy projection, as in India refuses to bow down, and in terms of Europe also, France has always maintained its own ability to make decisions rather than cow down to European powers or even USA for that matter. So both these nations have strong spines and they want to collaborate. But the biggest and most expensive of all of it is that the Rafale deals that they are hoping to finalize, about 114 of them, that's what they're looking to have a deal on. And that is something the Indian Air Force would also be considering as of now. So there are from a larger just exchange of goods and services, we would prefer to go into joint development, and hopefully this would ensure that there is a growth of both these nations as partners rather than just traders.
Additionally, ma'am, with an expanded trade with, let's say, France, what would India exactly gain in terms of investments, in terms of jobs?
Well, India-EU FTA has opened up markets and also for both places. And India is expected to benefit from having French wines, which are something which a lot of people are finding in favor these days. And Indian wines will also find flavor over there. Beyond that, 96% of the goods have been given reduced or no tariffs as far as this thing. So there is a double European export projected towards 2032. So we're looking at Europe as a market for our produce, and hopefully that expands. And with the, I believe the 2nd February was it, that we opened up the UPI exchanges with at the Eiffel Tower. UPI launch was there, I believe, and that shows that the Indian exchange as such is becoming powerful, and there is a partnership between NPCI International Payments, that is NIPL, and the French firm which is Lyra. So these partnerships are a growing economy which contribute to the growing economy of India, as well as enable tourist attractions to have, of which India is the largest group, is to be more attractive to Indian tourists. So there is a large financial benefit system that we have laid grounds for. We have pharmaceuticals and defense and clean energy and the other exports that are happening. We are looking to have markets in agro exports as well in France, and most and more importantly is the soft power move that we are looking forward to explore and exploit in these particular deals with France.
Additionally, ma'am, defense has been a major component of trade between India as well as France, and of course France is one of India's, it's the 2nd largest supplier of defense equipment to India. Do you think with this meeting perhaps we're going to see some sort of diversification among trade between both these countries?
Well, there is, the trade is pretty diverse. Even in terms of defense, I think you very aptly pointed out that we don't just deal in defense. We have machinery and boilers and pharmaceuticals, and we have medical supplies as in medical instruments and electric machinery. So there is nuclear reactors. All of this comprises of this multi-billion dollar trade that we have with France. So there is already a diversified market that we explore in France as Indian exporters. But what we are expecting is, of course, as I said, the contract of the century. It's called the 114 Rafale deal. And we are hoping that the French engine maker will announce that they would, promote, parts from local Indian suppliers that would probably strengthen the Make in India push. And with, of course, as I said, the AI focus that we are hoping for, and the FTA contributes into all of this for us.
All right, ma'am. Shruti Dasgupta, thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective. Taking to social media, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed French President Emmanuel Macron to India. The Prime Minister noted, and I quote, "India looks forward to your visit and to advancing our bilateral ties to new heights. I am confident that our discussions will further strengthen cooperation across sectors and contribute to global progress." End quote. My colleague Belly Thomas joins us for more on this. Belly, Prime Minister Modi has released a statement after Macron touched down in Mumbai. What exactly has he said?
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed Emmanuel Macron for his visit to India, and he stated in his social media post that India looks forward to his visit and to advancing the bilateral ties to newer heights. And the Prime Minister is confident that their discussions will be further strengthening cooperation across the sectors and would also contribute to the global progress. And he also said that he addressed Macron that he would see him in Mumbai and later in Delhi, and he also called him a dear friend. So this is what he has expressed on social media, welcoming Emmanuel Macron to India kind of looking forward to strategic and bilateral ties and cooperation with the two countries, Meda.
All right, Billy, appreciate you sharing all those information with us. Turning our attention now to Jammu and Kashmir, major news coming in. Massive searches have been launched in Jammu after 3, including 2 Pakistani nationals, escaped from a juvenile home in Arispura. My colleague Ajay Jandial joins us for more on this. Massive searches being launched in Jammu. Ajay, give us more details about this, please. All right, so we're of course learning that 3 minors have broken out of a detention camp in Jammu, and searches consequently have been launched. Now, out of these 3 people, 2 of course are Pakistani nationals, and they have broken out of a juvenile detention center in Arispura in Jammu and Kashmir. Following this, now the forces are conducting massive search operations in order to nab these Pakistani nationals as well. Of course, we know that this happened in the Arispura sector in Jammu, and these were Pakistani nationals again that have broken out of a jail and of a juvenile detention center and are on the run. Again, in order to catch these Pakistani nationals, we have the security forces launching searches in Arispura sector of Jammu. All right. Additionally, we know that they had escaped after allegedly assaulting police personnel on duty, and now search operations are underway. Ajay Jandial, my colleague, joins us for more on this. We're learning of searches being launched, Ajay, in Jammu and Kashmir after 3 people had 3 minors rather had broken out of a detention center in Jammu. Bring us more information about this.
Yes, this is the same juvenile center from where that 3 people, including from Pakistan, get let down yesterday evening, and it was around 5 p.m. time when in routine, those who were detainees as well as the security personnel and other staff members of the juvenile home, they were inside this home, and at 5, one person who is basically associated of a gang over here in Jammu. He opened fire. Gang over here in Jammu. He opened fire on the 2 police personnel, those who were inside this room, and according to information, he opened fire and injured 2 people, 2 police personnel, and then the 2 Pakistani, those who were standing with them, they fled from that area. Immediately after this incident, now the searches has been launched, and this Arispura is about 25 kilometers from the Jammu city. Immediately after this incident, senior officials, including the DGP, they rushed to the spot, and area was cordoned off. Searches were started, but till now there is no success to the forces. And Ahsan Anwar and Muhammad Sanalullah, they are the 2 people, those who basically fled with Karanjit Singh, who is known as Guga as well, and he is a gang member of one of gang over here in the Jammu. So they were minor, that's why they were under detention over here at the Arispura. Immediately after opening fire on the police personnel over here, they came out, and then they crossed that, jumped out of that wall, and then they escaped from this location. Now searches has been launched where Jammu Kashmir Police and other agencies, they are ensuring that they has to be traced out as soon as possible. But definitely big question arises that how they were keeping a weapon inside a juvenile home where movement of the security personnel is even not allowed. So that is a serious matter, and that's why 6 personnel have been suspended by the authorities, and investigation also has been started by the authorities to get into it, that how they were keeping this weapon, and who are the people, those who have supported these people from flee from this area, and also 2 Pakistani, those who are basically fled, those who have fled from this location. How they basically, what are the relation between two? That is another, question which basically is arising after this incident has happened over here.
Ajay, you've said that out of these three, of course, the two are minors from Pakistan. Do we know whether these minors were somehow, linked to terrorism, or how did they exactly land up in this jail?
They basically were detainees over here in the Araspura Juvenile Center, and the reason must be because as of now there is no information shared by the police, but there are possibility they might have crossed the fenced area. They are the infiltrators, they are terror associate or something. So that can be possible, because many people, those who basically are the intruder, when they crossed over here, there is a procedure, there is a law of a land that if they are minor, they have to be under the this rehabilitation center over here. So that is the reason that they were here. But now investigation has been started by the authorities to get into it, get more details, and but the priority of the authorities is to trace out these three, including two Pakistani, those who have fled from this location.
Additionally, Ajay, now we know that these search operations have been launched in order to trace down these accused. Do we know who are involved in part of these searches? Is it the police? Is it the army? Is it the BSF or the CRPF, or is it a joint operation among all of these security forces?
See, multiple agencies basically they are working on it. Police definitely is a premium agency, and they have to ensure that on this contingency they have to ensure and trace out these people. The thing is that because only Karanjit Singh, who is a gang member of one of a gang over here, who was one of a detainee, he is the prime person who can be traced, because he was having weapon. He must be having links outside this location. So he's the person who can be traced easily or definitely who can be traced. So that's why they are doing it, and multiple agencies, including Jammu Kashmir Police and intelligence agencies, they are working. And also, bodies are set on alert, because they also have to ensure that if they will try to, escape from this Jammu city or Jammu to other part of the country, then also they has to be stopped or traced out over there.
All right, Ajay, appreciate you sharing all those details with us. Turning our attention now, a road crash in Dwarka that killed 23-year-old Sahil Dhanesha has triggered outrage in Delhi after his mother alleged that a minor was driving an SUV recklessly to shoot social media reels. The Delhi police have confirmed that the driver was underage and without a license, while the family is demanding strict legal action and accountability of the vehicle owner. Sahil's mother, Ina Makan, said her son was on his way to the office on the morning of February the 3rd when the crash happened near Lal Bahadur Shastri College in Dwarka. With that, let's take a look at the comprehensive sequence of events that took place. Now, remember, this 23-year-old youth was killed by a minor in Dwarka, and with that let us take a look at the sequence of events. So on February the 3rd, 2026, around 11:58 am, a fatal road accident occurred in southwest Delhi's Dwarka area near Lal Bahadur Shastri College. So of course, the first thing that we know about this incident is that it occurred in Dwarka near the Lal Bahadur Shastri College in Dwarka, and of course at around 11:57 am this incident occurred when this car rammed into this bike. Now, Sahil Dhanesha, a 23-year-old man, was riding his Yamaha YZF R15 motorcycle to office when the crash happened. He was declared dead at the scene. This person, Sahil Dhanesha, who tragically died in this accident, was on his way to his office on his bike when this crash happened, and unfortunately Sahil died on the spot. Now, we know that the person that was actually involved in this accident is a minor. A Mahindra Scorpio SUV, allegedly driven by a 17-year-old minor without a valid driving license, was speeding in the opposite or the wrong lane. This person that was driving the Mahindra Scorpio car, of course, did not have any driver's license and was in violation of traffic rules completely by driving on the opposite side of the road. The SUV veered into the opposite lane, attempted a dangerous maneuver, stunt in front of a bus, collided head-on with Sahil's oncoming motorcycle and then lost control and slammed into a parked Maruti Swift Desire taxi. Now, from what we know, this person was of course too busy in performing stunts, and with that he killed one person and he also injured a taxi driver as well. Sahil died instantly on the spot. Autopsy confirmed cause of death as a severe hemorrhage, skull fracture, brain swelling, rib fractures, internal chest trauma and blood clot under the scalp. So, the victim died on the spot, and of course, the cause of death was a severe hemorrhage among other things. Now, the Delhi police registered an FIR under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita sections including rash driving, which is section 281, causing death by negligence, which is section 106 subsection 1, endangering life, section 125 subsection A, and the minor driver was apprehended at the spot, produced before the Juvenile Justice Board. Now, of course, the police has booked this youth under various sections of the BNS, and he was apprehended at the spot and sent to the Juvenile Justice Board. Remember, this is a 17-year-old who has killed a 23-year-old without impunity in Delhi's Dwarka. His speeding car killed an innocent. Joining me on the broadcast is Mr. Ved Bhushan, who is a former IPS officer. Welcome to the broadcast, sir. First, we had the Pune accident last year, and then more recently this Lamborghini case from Lucknow, from UP, and the youth had gotten bail, and last year shockingly was asked to write just an essay, and minors carry out such acts without any fear of law and order whatsoever. Would it be right to say that the law and order system is broken in India, and this will just perhaps be another rich brat that will get away with taking somebody else's life?
With the accident after accident, and nobody take care of the road fence. Traffic laws are there, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is there, all the traffic police is there, transport department is there, and despite this, and you are also already narrating after Noida incident, after Delhi incident, after Pune incident, after BMW case, again and again this thing happened. But this is very surprising that a minor boy was driving the car and his sister was making the video film. It's a miseffect or diseffect of social media, how the youngsters are always busy in making videos. Everywhere you go in Delhi and across, even in the villages, boys and girls are making only videos, taking care of their own life or endangering the other's life also. It's a very serious issue. Parents must be learned from these incidents that don't allow their young boys, girls to drive their cars, drive their vehicles, whether it's an expensive car or a bike. It's a very serious issue. But nobody is taking care. That's why the Sahil's death is a surprising thing in capital. In the way you are showing on the video how the young boy who was appearing in the board examination is driving, and his parents give key of the car to this young boy and causing the death of Sahil. It's a very unfortunate incident. I hope that this will give again a big message to the Delhis, across the India, that don't allow their young kids to drive until they are not fully aware of the traffic laws, traffic sense, and all the values, the system prevails in the society. And police has done FIR in this case because it's a bailable offense. Moreover, this young boy had to appear in the examination for board examination. That's why police is bound to give the bail to the accused or the driver of this car. Let us see what the examination, further investigation goes on, because the cars will be mechanical examination and all the scenes will be recreated and all the penal sections to be operative. You are already showing on the television that all the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita's provisions are invoked in this section. Road laws are already strict, and we hope that in the future time this such like offences will be made non-bailable offences. I hope Parliament will listen and our voice will reach to the Member of Parliament or to the government that they make this law non-bailable. It will be the strictest punishment to the drivers causing death day by day, everywhere across the India. It's a very serious issue. However, initially the government promised to the public that this such like offences will be non-bailable, but due to the pressure of transporters or taxi driver situation, this is on hold by the government. I again hope from the government that now it will be invoked again, so that a good message and a very strong message can be given to the drivers of such youngsters or the drunken driving or all type of motor vehicle violations are rampant in Delhi, across India also. Over to you, Madam.
Sir, additionally, this driver had no license and his car also had multiple challans issued. Do you think if the system had done its job well, Sahil would still be alive and with us today?
Yes, it's again a very serious issue. As you are telling that he was not even a driving license, how he came on the road. It's a very surprising issue. What the parents, there's no responsibility of the parents to give. It's an offense again. If a person, whether he's a father or anyone, give his car to the person who has no driving license, it's the owner's lives on the owner of the car. This again multiply the grievousness or seriousness of this offense. The challan after challan, whether they are paying the challan or not, I think they are evading the challans and going uncared of the legal situation, despite there are lok adalats and everything is available in Delhi, online payment also. It's a very serious again. It makes the gravity of the offense more and more. Hoping that this will give a very strong message to the society. It must not be occur again. Over to you, Madam.
Sir, I would kindly request you to stay on with me, as I would like to introduce this piece of information. The mother of the 23-year-old who was killed in a car crash where a minor was behind the wheels in Delhi on February 3rd said the accused was shooting reels while he was speeding in his SUV at the time of the accident. Let's take a look at what the grieving mother has stated. So, of course, we know now that the person behind the wheel was a minor, a 17-year-old who was driving his Mahindra SUV, and of course his grief-stricken mother has made a host of statements. Now, according to Sahil's mother, she said that the speed with which the Scorpio is being driven is clearly visible in the reel. Now, remember, this person that was behind the wheel in this SUV was driving on the wrong side of the road. He was, also he did not have any license, and his car also had multiple challans. She further said that he, that is the Scorpio driver, was driving in the opposite lane and came right in front of the bus and performed a stunt. She has also additionally said that this is not just an accident. My son died due to their fun reel. So she has, of course, said that her son, has died due to somebody's fun reel, and this comes as this person that was involved in this accident has already received bail because he wanted to supposedly attend his 10th grade board examinations, and his mother is now seeking justice from the public. So she has, of course, said that her son died due to somebody's fun. She has also further stated that this is a criminal activity. Some people think they can do anything on the road because their parents are wealthy. This is a criminal mentality. So she's also further added that, while he was heading to work, this SUV, of course, driven by the minor, veered into the opposite lane at high speed, and that, this is a criminal activity, and has also said that some people think they can do whatever they want to because their parents are wealthy. She's also said, my son died due to their fun reels. Some people think they can do anything on the road because their parents are wealthy. Apart from that, she's also said that I want justice for my son. No one is safe on the road due to people like them. Strict action should be taken against them. Now remember, this incident occurred on February the 3rd, and now his mother, who is a single parent who has been raising him for the past couple of years, has of course said that she wants justice for her son, and that she wants that there is safety on the road, and that strict action should be taken against this minor who was flouting all safety norms or whatsoever, as he did not have any driving license, as well as his car had numerous challans. She has also said that because of their reel, my child's life is gone, and there are other students there, their lives could have been lost too if more children had been on the road. So she's further added that had more people been there on the road, it could have been more dangerous, as more people would have been hurt. She's also said that I raised my child for 23 years as a single mother. On February 3rd, my innocent child was blown away by a car. I am a helpless mother. Again, she is seeking justice. This incident happened on February the 3rd, and due to somebody's reckless behavior and rash driving, her son died on the spot in an accident. All right, Mr. Ved Bhushan is still with us on the broadcast. Sir, it seems like despite everything, the police has taken no action, so much so that the mother had to publicly appeal for justice. Sir, she's been seen in a video asking media, to help her out. Is privilege slowly becoming a shield against accountability, sir?
Accountability must be fixed, as I already told, that his father or the owner may be arrested in this case, because his son was a minor and he intentionally or misintentionally given his car to drive with this boy. I think this boy have no proper training of the driving, or he never joined in the driving school. Moreover, he was a no driving license. We already seen this issue in Kanpur case, how the things were diluted in this case, Kanpur case. Other driver was produced. There are a lot of traffic laws flaws in all these cases, because they are the mighty persons. The young boy, you are told that he was appearing in the 10th class, and he was given a SUV car, very expensive car he was given, just only to make the fun. He was stunting with the car. Everywhere in the Delhi, boys and girls are running bikes and cars without caring of the driving limits, the traffic limits also. This is a very, very, very serious issue. It must be addressed. Despite all AI conferences are going on, we are going ahead everywhere. But in this field, still we are very lacking, and lot of things yet to be done, and the new laws or stricter laws to be executed, because such type of rash driving, negligent driving, wrong side driving must be prosecuted heavily, so that a strong message can be given across India that nobody can dare to violate such laws, so that the young boy of Ina Makan, that could not occur again in the society, and it will give a good message to the society. Behave properly on the roads. Road sense must be prevailed everywhere across India, whether in village, Delhi, or across India, everywhere. I think this message will go off to the government, that they will stick the punishment in this field also.
Additionally, sir, in your opinion, what comes next for the mother in this case? Do you think that after this, the limelight that this case has gotten, can we be assured that there will be swift justice in this case?
May the laws are so much easy in the accident case, whether it's a fatal accident, whether it's an ordinary accident. You had already recently, we debated on Kanpur incident, and lot of places across India, such type of accidents are taking place. But I'm again telling you, there are lot of lacunas in the trial, lot of lacunas in the investigations. Planted drivers are everywhere fixed. Despite being a police officer, I am telling you very frankly that this is a very prevailing message that all the powerful person plant their drivers or they managed by the senior advocates or they are doing everything on the basis of money, and money plays a very important role. And these traffic laws, especially Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, where these new laws were implemented, but there is no stricter provision so far. It is as Indian Penal Code as it is today in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. I think this will give again a strong message to the parliamentarians, to the lawmakers, to think over these laws again so that it not occur again and again. Over to you, Madam.
Sir, thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective. Now, the mother of the 23-year-old who died in a recent car crash where a minor was at the wheels said there are multiple challans on the car. There were 13 challans on this car, many of the UP state, and all are for overspeeding. Inamakan said her son, this comes as her son died in a crash that involved an SUV, a car and his bike near Delhi's Dwarka area on February 3rd. The police had said the SUV was coming from the direction of a Gurudwara while the motorcycle was approaching from the opposite direction. After they crashed, the SUV spun and hit the cab which was parked on the roadside. Dhanesha was shifted to a hospital but he died. Describing the traumatic moments, his mother said they got the call after 1 p.m. She stated, and I quote, "I ran to my car and reached there. My son was lying on the road. His jacket was torn. He was in a very bad condition. I understood that he had been screaming for 10 minutes. An ambulance was there, but he was not taken to the hospital." Bhavna Sisodia, my colleague, joins us for more on this. Bhavna, now in the light of this tragic accident that has taken place, what exactly is the mother saying?
आपको बता दूं कि 3 फरवरी को जिस तरीके से तेज रफ्तार कार की वजह से जो है साहिल नाम के युवक की मौत हो गई, उसके बाद लगातार साहिल की मां की जो है एक्स पर वीडियो वायरल हो रही है, जो इंसाफ की गुहार लगा रही है। बताया जा रहा है कि जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ था तो जो देखा जाए तो जिन धाराओं में मुकदमा दर्ज हुआ है वो एक्सीडेंट नहीं, हत्या के मामले को लेकर जो है मां जो है लगातार मदद की गुहार लगा रही है। वहीं पूरे मामले में देखा जाए तो जो चालक था, गाड़ी चालक था, स्कॉर्पियो चालक था, उसके पास लाइसेंस नहीं था और कहीं ना कहीं देखा जाए तो वो जो है जुवेनाइल बताया जा रहा है। पुलिस ने फिलहाल इस पूरे मुकदमे को दर्ज करते हुए जो है सीसीटीवी फुटेज खंगालने शुरू कर दी है। वहीं अगर इस पूरे मामले में देखा जाए तो जुवेनाइल जो आरोपी है उसको फिलहाल जमानत दे दी गई है, क्योंकि बताया जा रहा है कि एग्जाम्स के चलते जो है आरोपी को जो है जमानत दे दी गई है। लेकिन अगर देखा जाए तो साहिल की मां लगातार एक्स के माध्यम से जो है अपील कर रही है, गुहार लगा रही है, क्योंकि उनका कहना है कि कहीं ना कहीं जो अमीर लोगों के बच्चे हैं वो इस घमंड में रहते हैं कि उनके पिता के पास पैसे हैं और कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें बचा लिया जाएगा। और जिस तरीके से देखा जाए तो एक स्टंट के लिए, एक रील के लिए जो है तेज रफ्तार का इस तरीके का कहर देखने को मिला, जिसमें साहिल की मौत हो गई और वहीं एक कैब चालक जो है वो गंभीर रूप से घायल है, जिसका नजदीकी हॉस्पिटल में इलाज भी लगातार जारी है।
Bhavna, please मेरे साथ बने रहिए. We have now accessed a video shot by the teen driver's sister. The driver and his sister were both in the car at the time when it hit 23-year-old Sahil. The video shows the car speeding in a lane with no dividers. This video was shot and posted on social media. भावना, अभी हमें देखने को ये भी मिल रहा है कि जैसा वीडियो में दिख रहा है ओवर स्पीडिंग करते हुए, और ये जो ड्राइवर की बहन है उसने ये रिकॉर्ड करा था ये जो रील है, और इससे ये अब सोशल मीडिया पे भी काफ़ी सर्कुलेट हो रहा है।
बिल्कुल सही है। जिस समय घटना हुई बताया जा रहा है कि जो नाबालिग गाड़ी चला रहा था उसकी बहन जो है साइड में बैठे हुए जो है रील बना रही थी। और ये जो पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ है, कहीं ना कहीं स्टंटबाजी को लेकर जो ये पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ है वो निकलकर सामने आ रहा है, जिसको लेकर पुलिस जो है फिलहाल पूरी तरीके से जांच में जुटी हुई है। चूंकि देखा जाए तो इस पूरे मामले में फिलहाल अभी तक जो है अपराधी के पिता के ऊपर किसी भी तरीके से कार्रवाई नहीं की गई है। चूंकि अगर लॉ की बात की जाए तो कहीं ना कहीं जब चालक नाबालिग होता है, उसके पास किसी भी तरीके का लाइसेंस नहीं था और ना ही उसको गाड़ी चलानी आती थी। और वहीं अगर स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी की बात की जाए तो स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी चालक के पिता के नाम पर है। फिलहाल इस पूरे मामले में पुलिस जो है मामले की जांच में जुटी हुई है। सीसीटीवी फुटेज खंगाले जा रहे हैं, वहीं लगातार एक के बाद एक वीडियोस भी निकलकर सामने आ रही है। वहीं साहिल की मां लगातार जो है इंसाफ की गुहार लगाती हुई नजर आ रही है। अब देखना यही होगा कि जहां तमाम धाराओं में मुकदमा दर्ज कर पुलिस मामले की जांच में जुट गई है, वहीं साहिल की मां गुहार लगा रही है, तो क्या पुलिस द्वारा अब चालक के पिता के ऊपर भी कार्रवाई की जाएगी या नहीं की जाएगी?
भावना, प्लीज मेरे साथ बने रहिए। An autopsy report has shed light on the tragic death of 23-year-old Sahil Dhanesha, who was killed earlier this month in a multi-vehicle collision in Dwarka. The report confirms the extent of the trauma sustained when a Scorpio allegedly driven by a 17-year-old struck Dhanesha's motorcycle. According to the autopsy findings, the 23-year-old died due to severe hemorrhage. The report also mentions a blood clot under the scalp and a skull fracture on the left side of his head. The report further details that the internal damage was extensive. The report points to lung damage and brain swelling. The injuries were found to be consistent with the circumstances of the road accident. The cause of death has been recorded as hemorrhagic shock resulting from craniocerebral injury, along with injuries to the right upper limb and damage to vital organs. Bhavna, now we're also seeing कि autopsy report आ चुकी है और इस autopsy में उनका death किस वजह से हुआ था ये सब mentioned है। क्या और लिखा है इस autopsy report में?
तरीके से इस घटना को अंजाम दिया गया। कहीं ना कहीं जो कार चालक था वो रॉन्ग साइड आ रहा था, जिसकी वजह से साहिल की मोटरसाइकिल को जो है टक्कर लगी थी और टक्कर इतनी जोरदार थी कि साहिल के जो छोटे बड़े टुकड़े थे वो 70 मीटर के दायरे में इधर उधर बिखर गए थे। वहीं जब पुलिस पूरे मामले में जांच में जुटी हुई है और अगर देखा जाए रिपोर्ट की बात की जाए तो साहिल को कई गंभीर चोटें आई। जहां उनके सिर में चोट लगी थी वहीं उनको मल्टीपल फ्रैक्चर्स भी हुए थे। मल्टीपल जगहों पर जो है शरीर में अलग अलग जगहों पर जो है चोट लगी थी। जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि लगभग 70 मीटर के दायरे में साहिल के छोटे बड़े टुकड़े पड़े हुए थे। यानी कि कहा जा सकता है कि महज एक फन वीडियो बनाने को लेकर, एक स्टंटबाजी को लेकर कहीं ना कहीं ये तेज रफ्तार जो है युवक की मौत का कारण बन गई है। वहीं साहिल की मां लगातार जो है अपने आंसुओं से गुहार लगा रही है, लगातार अपील कर रही है कि उनके बेटे को जो है इंसाफ मिले, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से पुलिस की कार्रवाई फिलहाल होती हुई नजर आ रही है, ये कहा जा सकता है कि उनके दिल के अंदर गुस्सा भरा हुआ है। उन्होंने बताया कि किस तरीके से 3 फरवरी को जो है ये घटना हुई, एक्सीडेंट में जान गंवाने वाले साहिल की मां के आंसू फिलहाल इस टाइम थमने का नाम नहीं ले रहे हैं।
All right, Bhavna, thank you so much for sharing all those details with us. Turning our attention now to Bangladesh. In a significant political development from Dhaka, the BNP, Chairman Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as a Member of Parliament along with other newly elected lawmakers. This morning, Tariq Rahman and fellow BNP MPs took the oath of office as Members of Parliament at the National Parliament building in Dhaka. The ceremony was administered by Chief Election Commissioner in the oath room, marking the first elected parliament since the 2024 uprising that led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Belly Thomas, my colleague, joins us for more on this Belly oath-taking ceremony. We now also have the BNP Scion Tariq Rahman, who has taken oath as an MP.
So this is a significant political development from Dhaka. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party Chairman Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as the Member of the Parliament along with other newly elected lawmakers. And this morning Tariq Rahman and the fellow Bangladesh Nationalist Party MPs took the oath of the office as members of parliament at the National Parliament building in Dhaka. The ceremony was administered by the Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin in the oath room, marking the first elected parliament since the 2024 uprising that led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. So, ahead of taking this office, Rahman has delivered a firm message about the direction his government intends to follow in responding to questions about how he would deal with the supporters of the rival parties. And he went on to say that there was no room for politics of vengeance, and he clearly warned that any attacks based on political affiliation or differing opinions would not be tolerated. Meda.
Additionally, Belly, this is the first time that BNP has come to power in over 25 years. What are some of the challenges that his administration is likely to encounter, as the BNP comes back to power?
Meda, this is the thing that he has clearly mentioned in his first address after taking the oath, that he would not deal with the, there will have to be a strategy how to deal with the supporters of the rival parties, and there would be no room for politics of vengeance is what he has clearly warned. And he also stated that attacks based on political affiliation or differing opinions would not be tolerated. So these are the challenges that we are looking forward as the BNP takes the power in our neighboring country. And this is one of the key areas that the leader Tariq is looking into to address as the first step with his administration coming into power. And he also stressed that the rule of law would guide his administration, and that the personal or political revenge has no place in governance. And our paths may be different, our opinions may differ, but for the sake of the country, we must stay united. This was what he stated, and I quote him. So he was basically calling for a national harmony, which is the primary objective of this party, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, that has taken oath with Tariq Rahman clearly stating soon after taking his oath that this would be the priority as of now, and later on when things get in control, the other objectives such as how to bring the economy of the country and other things in a step-by-step would be taken care of, Meda.
All right, Belly, please do stay on with me. Ahead of taking office, Rahman delivered a firm message about the direction his government intends to follow. Responding to questions about how he would deal with supporters of rival parties, he said there was, and I quote, no room for politics of vengeance. He clearly warned that any attacks based on political affiliation or differing opinions would not be tolerated. He stressed that the rule of law would guide his administration, and that personal or political revenge had no place in governance. Our paths may be different, our opinions may differ, but for the sake of the country, we must stay united, he said, calling for national harmony. Belly, we're also now learning that ahead of, his swearing in, he has of course also said that he has called rather for national unity and is on a way to unify Bangladesh after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina.
Absolutely, Meda. So this is the primary objective of the BNP taking over the administration in Bangladesh. They know very well that the turmoil that had happened during the ousting of the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was that there were a lot of rivalry against the political parties, and that had clearly played up as an important factor into the country turning into the entire system getting collapsed, and everyone, almost all the citizens were on a rampage. Clearly, we had covered that news as well, and now setting a rest to all those things. So the first immediate priority, what the BNP sees is here, try to put in place is what is Tariq Rahman clearly mentions that it is the national harmony and unity that their opinions may differ, but for the sake of the country, they all must stay united, even if their paths may be different, and there is no room for political revenge while the governance is happening. And he also clearly warned that any attacks based on political affiliation or differing opinions will not be tolerated by the BNP. And he also said that he would deal with supporters of the rival parties in a very accepting manner. That is like an inclusive way is what he's mentioning with his firm message with the administration coming into power, Medha.
Additionally, what does the BNP at the helm of the country mean for the future of Bangladesh?
It's very far-fetched to tell as to how the BNP is going to turn out this country economically, but certainly there has been a lot of support for the country from the superpowers in the world. So there will be a lot of negotiations, or there will be a lot of agreements that would be signed between Bangladesh and other countries post this elections, when the leaders go around.
All right, Billy, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I'm running a little short on time with that. Let's turn our attention to the AI summit in New Delhi. The 5-day summit at Delhi's Bharat Mandapam has entered its second day, a day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the expo featuring 600 startups in 13 country pavilions. On the first day, Prime Minister Modi interacted with startups at the expo with a focus on highlighting India's role as an AI hub. Heavy attendance, logistical delays and traffic snarls were witnessed. Today, Union Health Minister JP Nadda is expected to launch 2 initiatives: Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare for India, or SAHI, and the benchmarking open data platform for health AI, both. With that, let's take a look at the bilateral meetings expected. All right, so this summit has of course been taking place from February 16th and 20th, and high-level delegations along with the top leaders have come in order to attend this. With that, let us take a look at the bilaterals lined up. Of course, we have Pedro Sanchez, the President of Spain, who's also present. We also have Petteri Orpo, the Prime Minister of Finland, and Alexander Vucic, the President of Serbia. So all of these leaders have come in order to attend the AI summit in India. We have Andrej Plenković, who is the Prime Minister of Croatia. We also have Elar Karis, the President of Estonia. And we also have Dasho Sering Tobgay, the Prime Minister of Bhutan. So a lot of European leaders along with India's border countries are also present at this AI summit. We have also Olzas Bektenov, the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, as well as Dick Schoof, the Prime Minister of Netherlands. So of course, Kazakhstan, a Central Asian country, we have seen that a lot of top level leaders have come in order to attend this summit spanning from North America to South America as well as Europe and Central Asia. Guy Parmelin, the President of the Swiss Confederation. We also have Kyriakos Mitsotakis, the Prime Minister of the Hellenic Republic, that is Greece of course, and His Serene Highness Hereditary Prince Alois of Liechtenstein. We also have again leaders, as you can see, from across Europe who have come in order to attend this summit that is taking place in New Delhi. Now remember that this summit of course is going on from the 16th of February to the 20th of February, and is the first time that it is being hosted in the Global South. We also have Peter Pellegrini, the President of the Slovak Republic, who is also here, and along with Anura Kumara Dissanayake, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and we also have Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations. So along with countries coming in, we also have multilateral bodies who the heads of multilateral bodies rather who are present at the summit as well, with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also among those who are present. So as we could see, a host of countries have sent their leaders, their heads of government, their heads of state to this summit, and of course a lot of presence of European leaders as well as those from India's neighborhood. Joining me is Ambassador Sushil Singhal, who is a former diplomat. Sir, welcome to the broadcast. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us. So what does the presence of so many top leaders from around the world mean for this summit and mean for India as a whole?
Well, you know, it's a very important summit, and it has, you know, attracted not only the political leaders but also the industry leaders. So which it shows clearly the place of India in the field, that India is an important player, and this summit, what will help us is most importantly is that it will help us to form the rules before they are, you know, earlier what has happened is that India has always been following the rules, but this time, in the case of the artificial intelligence, it gives an opportunity to India to be on the table when the rules are being formed. So this will give us a major say in how the policies for the AI, which is going to be, you know, everybody is saying that is going to be a game changer in all aspects. India will have an important say in that area, and give importance to the global south, you know, which is like we are talking about is giving space. When we see the leaders, the number of leaders, as you also mentioned, are coming from the global south. So this gives an opportunity to the other countries of the global south to be part of the rule-making body, which is, I think, is a very important for the future. The global south, because most of the countries are, you know, now a majority of the countries are in global south, so and they don't have any say in rule making. But what India is doing with this summit is that giving a voice to the global south, which will have impact on the power equations in the future. As far as the India is concerned, this enabled us to showcase what we have to offer. And I understand that the discussion which is going on, you know, they're talking about $300 billion investment in next 5 to 6 years in this field in India. India's UPI is being showcased, and also what kind of stride India is making is being showcased in this summit. So I think from all angles, when we see, either we look at politically or we look at from the economic point of view or technological point of view, I think this summit is going to be a game changer in this field.
All right, Ambassador, thank you so much for being with us here on the broadcast and sharing that perspective. With that, I slip into a short break. Thank you so much for watching.
कसूरी मेथी लाजवाब है स्वाद और सुगंध इसकी लाजवाब है
अगर MDH कसूरी मेथी नहीं डाला
तो खाली हाथ मलते रह जाओगे।
एक एक पत्ता हाथ से चुना, स्वाद और सुगंध जगाए कई गुना।
समान नागरिक संहिता हमारी बेटियां, माता और बहनों के गरिमापूर्ण जीवन का आधार बने। यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड से लोकतंत्र की स्पिरिट को मजबूती मिलेगी, संविधान की भावना मजबूत होगी, किसी से भेदभाव नहीं, हर कोई बराबर।
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की दूरदर्शी प्रेरणा और मुख्यमंत्री श्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी जी के सशक्त नेतृत्व में उत्तराखंड ने इतिहास रचते हुए देश का पहला राज्य बनने का गौरव प्राप्त किया, जहां समान नागरिक संहिता यानी यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड को प्रभावी रूप से लागू किया गया है। ये पहल राज्य में संवैधानिक मूल्यों को सुदृढ़ करते हुए समानता, सामाजिक समरसता और महिला सशक्तिकरण की दिशा में एक दूरदर्शी और प्रभावी कदम के रूप में स्थापित हुई है। इस ऐतिहासिक कानून के सफल क्रियान्वयन का 1 वर्ष पूर्ण होने पर उत्तराखंड सुशासन, समान अधिकार और जन विश्वास की उस यात्रा का उत्सव मना रहा है जो एक संकल्प से शुरू होकर अब एक व्यवस्था में परिवर्तित हो गई है। इस पहल की नींव मुख्यमंत्री और वरिष्ठ नागरिकों के हितों के संरक्षण पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है, जिससे इसकी सार्वभौमिक स्वीकार्यता, प्रशासनिक दक्षता और जन विश्वास को नई मजबूती मिली है। कानून के सफल क्रियान्वयन हेतु 10 दिनों से भी कम समय में 8,500 से अधिक अधिकारियों तथा 7,500 से अधिक कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर संचालकों को प्रशिक्षित किया गया है। इसके साथ ही सहायता एवं तकनीकी परामर्श के लिए राज्यव्यापी मॉक ड्रिल का सफल आयोजन किया गया। इसके परिणाम स्वरूप 1 वर्ष में राज्य पोर्टल पर लगभग 5 लाख आवेदन प्राप्त हुए, जिनमें से 96% का औसतन 5 दिनों से भी कम समय में निस्तारण हुआ। पंजीकरण की गति में उल्लेखनीय वृद्धि हुई है, जहां प्रतिदिन औसतन 1400 से अधिक पंजीकरण दर्ज किए जा रहे हैं। संवेदनशील एवं उत्तरदायी शासन का परिचय देते हुए सरकार ने जनता की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप नियमों में समय समय पर आवश्यक संशोधन भी किए, जिससे यूसीसी कानून को और अधिक समावेशी, व्यवहारिक तथा जनहितकारी स्वरूप प्रदान किया जा सके। विकसित भारत 2047 के विजन के अनुरूप विकसित उत्तराखंड की दिशा में समान नागरिक संहिता एक महत्वपूर्ण पहल है, जो समानता और न्याय को प्रशासनिक प्रक्रियाओं में व्यवस्थित रूप से समाहित कर रही है। समान नागरिक संहिता, समानता द्वारा समरसता।
मैच चले हार्दिक पांड्या की बॉल और ये उस्मान तारिक का आउट हो गया। ओ भाईजान, ये हालात है हमारी टीम के। इतनी गंदी टीम, एक और मैच हम हार गए हैं। ये हालात हैं जी, ये पड़ी है आपकी एलसीडी, ये पड़ा है आपका मैच। पाकिस्तान की टीम मैच हार चुकी है, इंडिया के हाथ से एक दफा फिर जलील और रुसवा हो गई है। भाई चलती एलसीडी लाए अवाम ने तोड़ के रख दी है। ये पाकिस्तानी अवाम के हालात है, अवाम की तरफ।
Pakistan suffered their 6th straight defeat to India on Sunday in the T20 World Cup 2026, crumbling to a 61-run loss after being bowled out for just 114. India dished out a humbling defeat to Pakistan, leading to some aggressive reactions from devastated fans and influencers on social media. The result continues misery for Pakistan on the cricket field against India, and their head-to-head record now reads 8-1 in favour of India. Arun, welcome. You're watching Deep Dive. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Today we will talk about the Pakistani meltdown post the India versus Pakistan T20 clash. Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Mohsin Naqvi was seen rushing to the exit and out of the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo in the middle of the second innings of the India-Pakistan T20 World Cup clash. Videos captured him in a car outside the ground while the match was still on, while the media at the ground confirmed that he had left after Mohammad Nawaz got out in the 12th over. Seeing these pictures, some fans on social media joked that Naqvi had run away before seeing his country lose to arch rivals. Remember, Mohsin Naqvi made headlines for stealing the Asia Cup 2025 trophy in Dubai, September 28, 2025. The Asian Cricket Council president left the Dubai International Cricket Stadium with the Asia Cup trophy after India refused to take the trophy from him following their 5-wicket win over Pakistan in the final. The defeat had led to devastation and anger amongst multiple Pakistan fans and influencers, which have been expressed in aggressive ways. From smashing cakes on faces to breaking TVs, the meltdown has been significant on social media. Social media has been flooded with the raw, unfiltered emotions of the Pakistan fans. Pakistan's defeat comes after a few weeks of drama off the field, during which the Pakistan Cricket Board threatened to boycott the game before ultimately overturning their decision after learning of the financial and sporting damages that could come their way. The defeat, therefore, has triggered a string of memes on social media, while several reactions of Pakistan fans have gone viral. In one video, a Pakistan-based YouTuber could be seen smearing cake on his sister's face. Take a look.
हमें दे दो ऐसा अभिषेक शर्मा भाई हम केक का क्या करना है केक का ना ये करना है ठीक है केक का ये करना है चालक करे तुम क्यों कर रहे हो अजीब तो जैसे केक की जैसे पीछे लगी हुई है पागल मैं क्या बोलूं तुम्हारे को ये करना है
Several popular Pakistani YouTubers launched a scathing attack on the national team for what they termed an embarrassing performance. In a sharp reaction, a video shared after the match, YouTuber Agha Mustafa Hassan said Pakistan's pre-match bravado had backfired badly. He remarked, "You talked so much before the match, it would have been better if you had boycotted it. At least your dignity would have been intact." Another Pakistani influencer, Laiba Abbasi, echoed Indian batter Surya Kumar Yadav's recent remark that there is no rivalry at present, saying that assessment was spot on. Abbasi said India is clearly operating at a different level, describing them as a team in another league altogether, while admitting that Pakistan for now are nowhere close to matching India's consistency, depth and overall quality. Well, soon after the match, a fan went on a seething rant before attempting to break his TV with a cricket bat. Take a look.
जो रियल किंग है वो वाकई विराट कोहली है। आज के बड़े मैच में उस बंदे ने ना खुदा की कसम साबित कर दिया कि यार वो बंदा प्लेयर है और हमारे ये चले हुए कारतूस टट्टू घोड़े ना इन्हें कुछ करना आता है, ना बैटिंग इनकी सही, ना इनकी बॉलिंग सही, ना इनकी फील्डिंग सही। हर बंदे 3-4 तो इन लोगों ने कैच छोड़े यार। मैं सही बताऊं आप, ये नहीं हम पागल है, मैं पागल हूं, हम पागल है, हम इनके चक्रों में कल गए सारा पूरा मतलब वहां पे हजारों रुपया, पूरी दुनिया वहां पे बैठी थी, बेचारों ने हजारों रुपया खर्च कर दिया। हमारा दिमाग खराब है, पागल है। मैं आज के बाद मैंने
Sharing the clip online, the fan struck a self-deprecating note, writing, "India beat Pakistan again, and in frustration I ended up breaking my TV." In another instance, a group of people were seen pelting stones at the TV after Pakistan's crushing loss to Team India. In another latest viral clip, a fan perfectly captures the collective heartbreak of a nation after watching Ishan Kishan tear through the bowling with a 40-ball 77 and Jasprit Bumrah dismantle the chase with clinical precision. The fan wants his team to have some shame. The fan expressed his belief and embarrassment, saying he was completely shattered, ashamed and in shock, unable to even speak, accompanied by a series of reaction videos on Facebook that captured his emotional meltdown. Take a look.
यार हर बार क्यों तकलीफ देते हो यार मुझे, हर बार क्यों दिल तोड़ते हो यार, ये अपनी मोहब्बत का सिला यही देते हो, प्यार का सिला यही देते हो तुम लोग यार, तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ, प्यार करके आता हूँ यार, कभी तो जी तो करो यार, हमेशा उम्मीद लगा के आता हूँ और तुम उम्मीद तोड़ दो तो मेरी हमेशा, आज फिर से हार गए यार, इतना उम्मीदें लगा गया तो, इतना खर्च कर गया तो यार अपना, लेकिन आप हमेशा जो है ना सिर्फ मुझे ही नहीं हम सब पाकिस्तानियों को मायूस करते हो यार, कभी दिल मत दुखाया करो यार, हम इतना मोहब्बत करते हैं यार, क्यों यार हमारी टीम कम नहीं है इंडिया से।
Another heartbroken Pakistani fan was seen crying after India's victory over Pakistan in the T20 World Cup match in Colombo. Another fan described the contest as completely one-sided and questioned the leadership of Babar Azam. The fan said if people call Babar a king, he should perform like one, like Virat Kohli. He doesn't deserve a place in the team, quote-unquote. Calling for sweeping changes, he said Pakistan can't even chase 140, 175 is far beyond them. India is a million times better. Well, the defeat triggered visible disappointment at the R. Premadasa Stadium, where several Pakistani supporters were seen leaving early as the team collapsed to 97 for 8 in just 15.3 overs during the chase. In another video, Pakistani cricket stars Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan were heavily trolled on social media after Indian athletes and influencers recreated a viral video of their bizarre stretching routine during the India versus Pakistan clash. Social media influencers Nick and Rahul Sinha were seen mimicking the routine in front of Pakistani audience, with a section of Pakistani supporters watching on. The act quickly gained attention online, with many users sharing and reacting to the clip, making it a trending topic on social platforms. Former Pakistan great Mohammad Yusuf described the current phase as the darkest period in our cricketing history. Soon after the defeat, Yusuf vented his frustration on social media, writing, "Time's up for Shaheen, Babar and Shadab. Pakistan's T20 squad needs new performers, not empty wins against weaker sides." Quote unquote. Well, adding to the backlash, Pakistani journalist Huda Shah delivered a scathing assessment of the Salman Agha-led side, describing the defeat as the height of shamelessness, blaming it on useless players and questioning the team's preparation. Huda Shah said in a video posted on social media, "You were going to lose, but you could have at least chased a little. You could have worked a bit harder," quote unquote. She questioned reports of the Pakistan team's intense practice ahead of the match against India, asking why it did not translate into their performance on the field. Take a look.
बेशर्मी की हद है। हारना आपने था ही, थोड़ा सा चेस कर लेते, थोड़ी सी मेहनत कर लेते। किस चीज़ की इन्होंने प्रैक्टिस की है? ना बैटिंग की, बहुत खबरें आ रही थी बैटिंग की प्रैक्टिस हुई है, बॉलिंग की प्रैक्टिस हुई है, फील्डिंग की प्रैक्टिस हुई है, खेफ प्रैक्टिस किया इन्होंने। आई मीन बंदा ये तो 100 भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। इंतहाई एम्बैरेसमेंट हो रही है। मतलब हमें पहले ही लग रहा था कि बेइज्जती बहुत बुरी होनी है, और लेकिन इस कदर बेइज्जती, मतलब इतने निकम्मे प्लेयर्स। इससे तो अच्छा था कि हम ये फैसला ही वापस ना लेते खेलने का। एटलीस्ट इस डिसअपॉइंटमेंट से और इस बेइज्जती से तो बच जाते। मतलब मैं वो वर्ड नहीं इस्तेमाल करना चाह रही, लेकिन प्लेयर्स पे।
Pakistan's performance in Colombo has invited sharp criticism not only for the players but also against the team management and the cricket board. Former Pak fast bowler Shoaib Akhtar launched a scathing attack on Pakistan Cricket Board chief Mohsin Naqvi, questioning his competence and the continued backing of players who are underperforming. Akhtar said, "Now one guy doesn't even know he's the chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board. How will the team run now? You're saying one guy, you made him a superstar, he can't win a single match. You made him a star who can't win a single living match," quote unquote. Well, several Pakistani ex-users shared memes and jokes laced with sarcasm and humor to express their disappointment after their team's embarrassing loss. One ex-user posted, "Release Imran Khan, arrest this 11. And yet, after all the boycott threats and drama from Pak side, the men in blue yet again emerged victorious against arch rivals Pakistan in the T20 International World Cup game. India winning by the biggest margin of 61 runs. Sunil Yashkalra, cricket scholar, is live with us. Sunil, a complete meltdown in Pakistan after this defeat?
Well, you're right. Absolutely. There's not even a meltdown. It's a case of great disappointment for the cricket fans all across the world for two reasons. India-Pakistan rivalry is no more a rivalry, and the defeat and the difference of defeat is quite high. So when you put everything together, we are not in a great side and a great composition considering the Asian cricket is around. And Uday, look at the way that they lost the match. I mean, 61 runs in a T20 is quite a margin. And I think what you just said and sums up the atmosphere in the cricketing fraternity. India was targeting the system, the practice, and the invincibility, and they were just chasing drama on and off the field, theatrics and optics. Uday, over to you.
Absolutely. But, you know, Sunil, this wasn't a defeat. This was a humiliation. That is what is getting Pakistan fans goat. They're like, they should have chased better. What was the training like? Why weren't changes made on time? Why do they just win against weaker sides? What happens when they play against India? People calling for a change in their side. People calling for hard decisions to be made. People even calling for the sacking of the PCB chief.
Yeah, I mean, why just stop at the PCB chief? You also have a coach. Just imagine the coach comes out with so much of theatrics and optics. And remember, he's a discard from the IPL. Mike has got no credentials of this thing other than being, till 2 years ago, he was working in IPL as assistant or some backup coach. But now, Pakistan takes them over. And Mohsin Naqvi is seen doing the theatrics. If you remember, Uday, he was seen giving advices to the coach before the match, and this is how it happens. Not this match alone, but the practice, and he visits everything. I think Mohsen Naqvi has brought shame and embarrassment to the cricketing fraternity. Look at the way that they are chasing non-issues. They're talking about handshakes. They're talking about solidarity with Bangladesh. Where is got the... I mean, they should be talking about the competitiveness on the field, trying to win together as a team or rather put up a show, if not win in the World Cup.
Yes.
I mean, look at the brand that has gone down. Economy has gone down of cricket with this lackluster performance and the rivalry so-called.
Sunil, appreciate you joining us with your perspective on this segment.
जो भी पके ऐसा पके जहाँ भी हो जो खींचा चलाए बेसी दिल हो या पुलियो गिरे वांगी भात हो या पोड़ी मसाला रस पाउडर या सांभर मसाला असली मसाले सच सच MBH
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व में प्रदूषण रहित देवी बसों के जरिए राजधानी के हर कोने तक पहुंच बढ़ाने में जुटी है दिल्ली की रेखा गुप्ता सरकार। दिल्ली का हर सपना होगा साकार।
3400 ईवी बसें हम दिल्ली की परिवहन व्यवस्था में जोड़ चुके हैं।
इलेक्ट्रिक बसें बढ़ा रही है अंतिम मील कनेक्टिविटी। महिलाओं के लिए पिंक सीटें होती हैं आरक्षित। पैनिक बटन और सीसीटीवी कैमरों से यात्रा होती है सुरक्षित।
अच्छी है बस भी, बस की क्वालिटी सब कुछ अच्छा है।
देवी बसें की सर्विस भी बहुत बढ़िया है, सही सफर कर लेता हूँ मैं।
पूरा होगा आसान सफर का वादा, प्रदूषण कम करने का इरादा।
Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX Deep Dive. A massive explosion in Odisha's capital of Bhubaneswar has taken a dramatic and deadly turn. The blast took place on the 27th of January 2026 in the Azad Nagar locality of the Sundarpada area. 4 people were seriously injured and were rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition. Weeks later, the case has escalated significantly. First, the prime accused and his mother both died due to blast injuries. Second, forensic investigation have confirmed the presence of IEDs and a large quantity of gunpowder at the site. Third, the NIA has formally taken over the probe. Here's what we know so far. The explosion occurred within the limits of the airfield police station, a highly sensitive zone located close to the DRDO transit facility and the Indian Air Force recruiting center. The prime accused, Shahnawaz Malik, aged 26, a known history sheeter with a criminal background, and his mother, Lizatun Bibi, aged 51, both succumbed to their injuries while undergoing treatment. 2 others, Trupti Mai Mahal, aged 23, Malik's fiancée, and Amia Malik, aged 27, a close associate, remain in critical condition at a private hospital and are expected to be questioned once medically fit. A major breakthrough, meanwhile, has occurred as the investigating authority has got their hands on a CCTV footage. Let's break that down. The time of the CCTV footage is 2:45 p.m. on the 27th of January. It's a rooftop where 4 water tanks can be seen. A blast occurs behind the water tanks and a woman emerges from behind. Her clothes are on fire. This could either be Lizatun Bibi or Trupti Mai Mahal. She's wearing a nightgown, but because her clothes are on fire, she starts removing her clothes. She is frantically running around on the terrace. Listen in. Another woman and a man emerged in the frame from behind the tanks. At a point, 3 people are visible on the frame, 2 women and a man. A man is now seen just sitting on the terrace, face away from the camera, smoke emerging from him. The CCTV shows him sitting there for a while as blood flows from his body. Listen in. The first woman comes from behind the tanks and is visibly trying to help the man sitting by taking the water from the water tank as water mixes with the blood. The terrace is colored with diluted blood. The woman gets up, unable to contain the situation, herself in pain. The man then collapses on the floor and the woman tries to help him again. Both of them are trying to soothe the burn with water. His companion is visibly distraught. Listen in. Another man comes from behind the tanks. Again, the woman tries to calm down the burnt area of the man with the tank water. The man gets a bucket. The man picks both of them up and go out of the camera's vision. Investigators believe Shahnawaz Malik was the primary bomb maker and was handling high-grade explosive material on the rooftop of his residence when the blast occurred. Initial forensic and bomb squad reports suggest the explosion was likely accidental and occurred while the group was allegedly handling or manufacturing live bombs. Authorities have recovered banned explosives from the site. Police say the explosive was being loaded onto an active state, possibly following instructions from a video found on a mobile phone. 2 damaged mobile phones have been sent to the Forensic Science Lab for data extraction. Digital footprints, call records and CCTV footage are being analyzed to identify any possible accomplices or escapees. The NIA is also probing whether this incident was part of a larger conspiracy, including possible radicalization or coercion or a planned major blast. Such operations continue in and around the area to ensure no additional explosive material is stored. B.L. Vora, former DGP, joins us on the broadcast. B.L. Vora, what do you make of this fresh CCTV footage? What clues can be derived from the modus operandi used about the individuals who were behind this attack, and how serious this should be taken by the NIA, which is investigating it?
Thank you, Uday, for having me. It's a very, very serious issue. The way you have explained, of course, in detail, and thanks to you, the graphic, the situation as seen in the videos, it's very clear that the crime is not that of an individual, because you said some people from a van, from a mobile phone were perhaps giving instructions. Now this crime of bomb making, I think it's bad for them, good for us that we got it. And now NIA is probing, as you said also. So I think NIA will reach and should reach to the bottom of the whole situation. Now, earlier I had thought that maybe they're making it for self. These crimes are not unusual. These individuals, generally they will do for themselves, stand alone, or they will do as a part of bigger conspiracy. Here it seems to be so, a part of bigger conspiracy. Unfortunate for them again, good for us that lot of things have been caught on the camera. But what surprises me is, and what is worrying also, is that it has happened in a state like Odisha. Now this can happen anywhere in India, for that matter. And of course, all kinds of people are involved in these kind of activities. Now let's not forget that Odisha is very close to Bangladesh border also. And we can expect these things happening in any state, particularly now these days.
Yes.
I think not.
Two of the main accused, Mr. Vora, are no more. 2 are reported in a critical condition. How crucial will their interrogation be?
It is very, very crucial. I am sure something will come out of it. Those who are surviving, and hopefully, I think they should survive, they will give definitely some clue. And some clues other also will be found out from the material, from the places, from where it has come, from the searches of their houses. Maybe a little difficult, but it is definitely not impossible. Now, as I was saying, the situation is very bad. And India is at times, this time geared by all kinds of enemies. You can talk of Myanmar there, China there, Pakistan there. I think we should not ignore it, take it very seriously. All state police forces must be alerted.
Yes.
And we should keep an eye. And I'm surprised that they did not come to the notice of the local police, for that matter, and the intelligence agencies. Yes.
I'm going to leave it at that. B.L. Vora, we've run out of time. Appreciate your joining us with your perspective on that segment.
कसूरी मेथी लाजवाब है स्वाद और सुगंध इसकी लाजवाब है
अगर MDH कसूरी मेथी नहीं डाला
तो खाली हाथ मलते रह जाओगे।
एक एक पत्ता हाथ से चुना, स्वाद और सुगंध जगाए कई गुना।
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर, या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
कभी खेलों के मानचित्र पर उत्तर प्रदेश सिर्फ संभावनाओं का नाम था, पर 2017 के बाद संभावनाएं संरचना बनी। जनपदों में स्टेडियम, ब्लॉकों में मिनी स्टेडियम और गांव में मैदान। खेल अब शहरों तक सीमित नहीं रहे। लखनऊ से मेरठ, वाराणसी से अयोध्या, ग्रेटर नोएडा से गोरखपुर। मैदानों पर सिर्फ खिलाड़ी नहीं, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय इवेंट्स उतरे। खेलो इंडिया, यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स, मोटो GP, डेविस कप, बैडमिंटन से लेकर खो खो तक। उत्तर प्रदेश अब मेजबान भी है और दावेदार भी। प्रतिभाओं को मिला मंच, प्रशिक्षण और सम्मान। आज उत्तर प्रदेश खेलों में सिर्फ भाग नहीं लेता, दिशा तय करता है। यह है बदलाव की कहानी, मेहनत की पहचान और भविष्य की स्वर्णिम उड़ान। ये है आत्मविश्वास, लगन और विजय का गूंजता संदेश। ये है नया उत्तर प्रदेश।
We can see the commitment of VCs in our deep tech startups. That's clearly committed. We can see that interest in making AI accountable to the society, making sure that we can get the benefits of the new technology while we can contain the harms which might come from it. That consensus is also building up. So very happy to invite all of you to this